So next we're going to be placing rooms which we can tag into our model. We have built actual rooms in the model. The software doesn't understand that it is an actual room. So we must place what is known as a room within the room itself. So to place a room, we'll come back to the Architecture tab, our Room and Area panel, and there is our room. So if we select that, in our Contextual tab, we have three options here. We have Place Rooms Automatically. So any room bounded in the model by walls, floors, or ceilings, it'll automatically generate a room within that space. The issue with this is, like we had earlier on with the ceiling, sometimes the bounding of the room is a little off. So there's a couple of examples of that in this project that we'll show you. So next we have Highlight Boundaries. So that highlights all the bounding elements in the current view. And the last one there is Tag on Placement. So whenever we place a room, it'll automatically be tagged. So what I'm going to do is zoom in on the actual room itself. So the room itself is the actual blue line and the X in the center. So that is the actual room itself. So to get started, if we come over to the top left-hand corner of room, you can see when I hover inside that bounded room, I'm able to place the room itself. So you can see that that blue line is hitting each one of those partitions and the external wall, as well as going around the architectural column. So I'll click to place. Once I've placed the room, the tag is automatically generated and it displays the number 1, room. It also gives me the area in meters and square feet. So that is the tag, and the room is the X, and you can now see it's highlighted in blue. So that is the actual room itself, and the text is just the tag. So if you wanted to select the actual room, if it's not displaying when you're running the cursor around the tag, again, just hitting the tab key will display the room. So next I'll place another room. And when I'm placing the room, you can see the tag gives me that temporary vertical dimension, which is just telling me that the tags are now aligned. I can go to the next room. So once I know that the room itself isn't spilling out into another room, I'm happy to place it. And so this room down the bottom right is the one that's going to give us some trouble. So when I place the room inside the bounded room, you can see that it's spilling out into the lobby. So again, the reason being is the architectural column. Where the architectural column meets the external wall, the boundaries just aren't meeting correctly. So if we press escape, I'll show you how to get around that in a few moments. But first we want to come back up to the room 3. So in a scenario where you have an office space, if we had an office that was shared by 2 different companies and there wasn't a physical barrier or physical wall between those 2 offices, what we can do is we can add in what's called a room separator, divide that room up to give us those accurate readings. So in the room and area panel, we have room separator. So if we select that, again, we just have the same draw panel in our contextual tab, and the options bar, again, same features that we should be aware of by now. So what I'm going to do is just draw the room separator just right across the center like that. It's just denoted by a dashed blue line. And now if I hover my mouse around to try and find the room, so there we have one room, and that tag is displaying the information for that room below. So I'm going to move it down. So there's the room now cut into 2 using the room separator. And this room now just requires an actual room to be placed. So I'll select room again, and now I can place it. So now we have 2 separate rooms, but within the same office. So with the room separator, we can also use that to help us out down here where the column meets the external wall. We can use the room separator just to give an edge to that corner, like so. So when we've drawn in that edge, when we go to place a room, the room separator will stop the room from spilling out into the lobby. So now we can go place our room. And now we see it's not spilling into the lobby itself, so we can now place it. If you accidentally delete the tag, or when you place your rooms, the rooms aren't tagged automatically. So you can see the room still exists, but there isn't a tag. In the room and area panel, there's our tag room. So we'll just go and place a new tag over the room. So next we come back up to room 1. The tag itself is just from the tag family, and it's a specific type. So if we select the tag, come to our type properties, we have a couple of different variations of what we can display. So we have just name and number with both areas, name number with metric areas, or name only. Again, this is just simply a tag created in the family editor, so we can create our own at a later date. And if you wanted to change the information on the tag, select it, and once it's highlighted in blue, then just click on the text. And so what we're going to do now is we're going to name each one of the rooms. And how I want you to label them is to double up on some of the rooms. So room 1 will be storeroom. Room 2 will be office. Room 9 will be office. And 3 will be office. Room 4 will be meeting room. And room 7 will be toilets. And room 10, I'll call canteen. So we'll do the same for the first floor. First we'll place our rooms. Again, I'm going to call it meeting room. Office, toilets. And we can say common room.